So this is the Bullet Train movie review that I've made in Notepad. It's mostly just disorganized thoughts. Just some points that I took away from the movie that I just saw. There's some spoilers here, but can you spoil something that is rotten? No, not really. This is one of the worst movies I have seen recently. Well, really, of all time, actually. Yeah, I can't really think of a lot of movies that are worse. I'm sure I've seen worse ones, but this one's pretty bad. If the movie was a model train, I would just end the track at the end of the table, put a trash can under it, and drive the train straight into the trash can. Yeah, and then throw it out. Is this a real bullet train? They show this train a lot from the outside. It really looks ugly. I guess, I expect a bullet train to be sleek and shiny. This one's got like this weird thing going on the front end of it where it looks kind of like a duck. And I don't know why it has this long front part because I don't think there's like a motor in it or anything. Some of the scenes where it drives by looks fake. Like it actually is a model train. Why couldn't they just take some film of an actual train, like an actual bullet train? We see several scenes of it driving by for no apparent reason. None of the characters inside seem to be aware that they're going like a couple hundred miles an hour or whatever it does. There's no sense of speed inside the train at all. There's never any rocking around or characters wondering why they're going so fast or anything like that. The train's not really relevant except there's lots of cars for the characters to go between, but there's really nothing about trains that much in this movie. There's a lot of Thomas the Train talk. I think that speaks for itself. Yeah, it does. Whatever that movie was with Denzel Washington where he's got a train, he's like a train engineer and the train's out of control. That's a lot better train movie if you care about trains. Just saying. Okay, this movie wants to be Kill Bill and a mix of that and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I couldn't watch Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels because I couldn't understand what the people in it were saying, really. And I didn't want to have to try that hard to understand because I'm trying to be entertained and not interpret some audio that's really not making sense to me. There's a British guy in this movie. Actually, there's more than one British guy. But one of them really just can't understand them very well. And the dialogue itself is bad. They say something witty and then hit someone over and over. Yeah. It's kind of like James Bond where he says something witty and then kills somebody or something. But that only happens in James Bond like once per movie, maybe a couple times. This one's just the whole time you're getting that kind of thing. All the characters have these really snappy, rush conversations. I mean, they just go on and on really fast with no point to them. It's just like garbage filler words. It's just stupid. They're talking about things that just don't matter to killers. This is supposed to be funny. It really isn't. Here's an example. I'm going to kill you. Huh, did I leave the iron on this morning? Punch. Or I stole your poison antidote and now you're going to die horribly. Did you just fart? Yeah, it's that level of stupid for 2 hours. Yeah, it's like Beavis and Butthead kind of stuff. Which, Beavis and Butthead could be funny sometimes, but this really isn't. The movie is extremely violent. You get to see headshots, bodies ripped in half, head sliced in half, blood shooting out of necks. Um, and really, if you've seen that in one movie, you've pretty much seen it all. That for your whole life, you really don't need variations of that. There's one scene of just lots of violence. It looks like a hellscape. I know this is what I go to movies to see, sarcasm. Yeah, I don't want to see that. Why would I want to see that? I wonder about the director's psychological makeup. Yeah, I wonder if he was like, when he was a kid, he like drew things in his notebook of like people being torn in half or on torture devices or being eaten by monsters or something. Something's not right. I'll try to make a point, but I might not get it across well. In a movie like Kill Bill, there is a lot of violence, but it is mostly to show the protagonist is up against incredible odds or against someone with a really dangerous weapon, like the Asian girl with the spike ball on the chain or something like that. In movies like Bullet Train, the violence itself is the star. It's just violence to show violence. Do people really want to see this? If so, I think humanity has gone wrong at some point. Violence is actually not a good thing generally. Yeah, it's not good. It's stupid because it's a low effort type of thing. I mean, it doesn't take any skill or creativity to add that crap in a movie, really. There is a giant anime, like a cartoon bear thing, a person in a suit, like somebody at Disney World or something, walking around a train. This is Japan after all, so of course this makes sense, and nobody on the train bats an eye. Yeah, and it's a pretty dumb looking character too. Lots of hand-to-hand combat, like lots of it. If this holds your attention, that this could be your movie. Yeah, I mean, this kind of thing really bores me really quickly. And I think it's another it's a lazy thing for the movie makers to fill in time where they don't have to have a plot or any sensible dialogue or character development. There is a snake called a boom sling roaming around the train. Part of the plot was it was stolen from some zoo and it's on the train, which seems like an odd place to put a venomous snake. And it also looked like it was in like a cat cage or a dog transport cage. Like it's got like these bars on the front of it that are really easily big enough for a snake to go through. So that doesn't seem like an appropriate snake handler type of cage anyway. The snake gets defeated by the hero using a bidet. I remember when I used to read Reddit that there was always like some shills in the comments trying to sell bidets for some reason. I wonder if they went on the right movie scripts. There's a lot of focus on the bidet is all I'm saying. Yeah, like, you go watch a movie. Is it to see bidets in action? No, not me. I just looked it up a minute ago. It's an actual snake. But who named it? It's a pretty dumb name if you ask me. Yeah, apparently it's some kind of Dutch word or something, but it sounds like something somebody just made up. Let's see. A gun is apparently a really good place to hide a bomb along with the electronics that go along with it. And we're talking about a pistol here. Typically, I wouldn't think there'd be that much free space in a pistol. The camera even zooms into the gun and actually zooms in so much that it goes inside to verify that there's a bomb and electronics in there. There's a flashing LED on the circuit board inside the pistol, so we know it's real. It's a real bomb. The LED is a nice LED that probably indicates something important, But unless you have this special movie camera that can see inside guns, then how are you even going to see it? You're not going to be able to see it. So why even have it in there? It's running down the battery, and you might run the battery down so much that the bomb doesn't even go off when it's supposed to. Um, so the bomb's supposed to go off when somebody pulls the trigger, right? I know it sounds crazy, but could, instead of having this sophisticated circuit board with electronics, could you just make the trigger set off the bomb somehow? Like in some really simple mechanical way? I don't know, maybe with like a bullet primer and then like hooked up to a bomb or something. I'm not trying to tell you how to make a bomb. I'm just saying that I think it could be done easier than that. There's a briefcase with a bar of gold and lots of cash inside it. It has a numeric lock that is 3 digits long. 3 digits. So if you know anything about math, 3 digits from 0 to 9 means you basically got about 1,000 combinations possible, which really isn't that much. I mean, I wouldn't want to personally go through all 1,000, but chances are pretty good if you just go through it sequentially in ascending order. You're probably going to hit the combination well before you get to 999. So that's not how I'd be securing my gold bars and, hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash. That's not the kind of luck I'd use. I'd probably just hide it, really. I probably wouldn't even use a lock. One of the killers is shot to death, but surprise, we learn later that he had a bulletproof vest on. How original. Yeah, like how many TV shows and movies have you seen that in? It's such a cheap gimmick. Channing Tatum, or is it Tatum Channing? Not sure, has a few short scenes that exist to imply that he is gay. He did this in another movie too. Will this become a thing in movies like the Wilhelm Scream or Stanley appearances? I mean, that would be kind of cool if it did. I mean, I think it might be kind of funny. The music in the movie, not in the music. The music in the movie is bad, and it's really loud to the point of clipping, distorting. Again, this movie's like really stylized, so they even stylized the music. At the end, there's a cover of a song. That song, I Need a Hero, is like this really awful 80s song. And it's a cover, so it's done that same way, just badly. If I was Simon Cowell, I would say just dreadful. There are so many plot twists that you'll think that movie Inception is easy to follow. I don't go to movies to think this much, especially about really, really dumb things. Yeah, I mean, if it's interesting, I don't mind thinking a little bit, but I don't want to think about stupid crap. The train is speeding out of control at some point. One of the killers has pushed the throttle all the way up, but he doesn't think to pull it back down to slow the train down for some reason. Or maybe it's broke. I didn't really pay real close attention. Maybe something broke it, but I don't think something broke it. They showed a broken brake, like train brake, but they didn't show the throttle. I don't think they showed the throttle being broken. And this guy had like a lot of time to figure out to just pull the throttle back, but he never does it. Let's see. One of the killers didn't get on the train on time as it is pulling out of the station. He's running to try to catch the train by jumping on the back of it. But you can clearly see he's not running fast enough, and the train's actually accelerating away from him. But somehow in the next scene, he's walking around on the train. Makes no sense. We learn at the end that the voice in Brad Pitt's ear. So there's this lady's voice in his ear, always telling him like how to be a better killer, I guess, or spy or whatever he is. It seems like to me that would be pretty distracting. Like if I'm in like some hand-to-hand fight with another killer or a venomous super snake or whatever it is, I don't really want somebody talking to me. Just let me focus, lady. But at the end, we learned that it's Sandra Bullock. It's like, wow, what an amazing surprise. Sandra Bullock was the voice. Not quite this is man behind the curtain level, but still pretty darn good. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like some like potheads were sitting around like, you know what would be so cool, man? Oh yeah, that'd be so cool. It's not cool, you know? Like, sober up and rethink some of these ideas, guys. Let's see. One of the plot points is that if this guy doesn't cooperate, then they're going to kill his kid who is already in a hospital bed because he was pushed off the roof of a building. Luckily, he didn't die from the roof fall, so he could later be used for leverage. Was this part of the original plan? I mean, it's not too smart. People typically can die from roof falls. Or, you know, he might even be in like a vegetative state for the rest of his life. I mean, is the guy really gonna like do what you tell him to do for some brain dead kid or something? I mean, so I guess the point is like, do we really need to see violence against kids in movies? Could we just agree not to have that? Because it's kind of depressing. You know, we really don't need it. Okay. In summary, if your dream movie is a fashion show with lots of hand-to-hand combat, gore, blood, crummy music, unfollowable plot twist, way too much and too fast dialogue with thick accents, and ugly trains, I guess, then I highly recommend Bullet Train. The end. Thank you.